Girl interrupts the judge. Daddy is lying, and then reveals something that shocks everyone. The courtroom was silent, the tension palpable. Judge Evelyn Carter, a poised young woman in her mid-30s, adjusted her glasses and looked over the rim at the man standing before her. Martin Langston was polished in a dark suit, his hair neatly combed, his demeanor exuding confidence. Next to him, his 5-year-old daughter Lily clutched a stuffed bunny, her big blue eyes scanning the unfamiliar room nervously. Across the aisle sat her mother, Rachel, visibly strained but resolute. But before we dive into what happens next, I'd love to know, where are you tuning in from today? Drop a comment below. Martin had spent the better part of the past hour weaving a narrative of regret and redemption. "Your Honor," he said smoothly, "I've turned my life around. I've established a stable home, a successful career, and all I want is a chance to give my daughter the life she deserves." Rachel, her face a mix of anger and disbelief, finally interjected. "You abandoned us, Martin. You walked out when Lily was a baby and now you show up years later pretending to care." "Objection, Your Honor," Martin's lawyer said, rising to his feet. "My client's past mistakes are not relevant to his current petition for custody." Judge Carter tapped her gavel lightly, signaling calm. "Miss Langston, please restrain your remarks to relevant facts. This court is here to determine what's in Lily's best interest." Rachel sat back, her hands gripping the edge of the table. Her lawyer leaned in, whispering reassurance. "Your Honor," Martin continued, "I only took Lily for a weekend. Rachel's accusations make it sound as though I kidnapped her. She's just trying to punish me." Rachel's lawyer shot up. "Punish you? You told Lily her mother didn't want her anymore, that she was better off with you." The judge's brow furrowed as she turned to Martin. "Mr. Langston, did you say this to your daughter?" Martin hesitated, his polished facade cracking for the briefest moment. "Of course not," he said, recovering quickly. "Lily misunderstood. She's a child." The judge turned her attention to the little girl. "Lily, sweetheart," she said gently, "do you know why you're here today?" Lily shifted in her seat, clutching her bunny tighter. "Daddy said it's because Mommy is mad at him." Rachel's eyes welled with tears, but she remained silent. "And do you know why Mommy might be upset?" Judge Carter asked softly. Lily hesitated, looking at her father, who gave her a tight smile. "Daddy said Mommy didn't want me anymore," she whispered, her voice trembling. Rachel gasped audibly, covering her mouth with her hands. Judge Carter leaned forward. "Lily, I need you to tell me the truth. Did Daddy say that?" Lily nodded, her eyes wide and innocent. "Yes, but—" She paused, looking down at her bunny. "But what, sweetheart?" the judge prompted. Lily looked up, her voice suddenly clear and firm, cutting through the tension like a knife. "But he's lying, Your Honor. Mommy never said that. Mommy loves me. She tells me every day." The courtroom erupted into murmurs. Judge Carter banged her gavel for order. "Lily," the judge said gently but firmly, "is there something else you want to tell me?" Lily nodded, her small voice trembling but resolute. "Daddy told me if I said I wanted to stay with him, he'd buy me a big house and a puppy. But I don't want a big house or a puppy, I want my mommy." The room fell into stunned silence. Martin's face went pale, his mouth opening and closing as he searched for words. Judge Carter's expression hardened as she turned to him. "Mr. Langston, do you have anything to say for yourself?" Martin stammered. I just wanted what's best for Lily." "By manipulating her?" Judge Carter snapped, her voice cutting through his excuses. "You have weaponized this child's love and trust, and you've lied to this court. This behavior is not only reprehensible but also detrimental to your daughter's well-being." Rachel, unable to hold back her tears, finally let them fall as Lily ran to her, throwing her tiny arms around her mother's neck. "I'm sorry, Mommy," Lily whispered. Rachel held her close, kissing the top of her head. "You have nothing to be sorry for, baby. I love you more than anything." Judge Carter straightened, her tone resolute. "The court finds Mr. Langston's behavior appalling and awards full custody to Miss Langston, effective immediately. Mr. Langston, you are to have no contact with your daughter until this court determines otherwise." Martin sank into his chair, his confidence shattered. As Rachel carried Lily out of the courtroom, the little girl looked back at Judge Carter and waved. The judge returned the gesture with a small smile, knowing she had done what was right. For the first time in years, Rachel felt hope. She had fought for her daughter, and love had triumphed over lies. As Rachel walked out of the courtroom, clutching Lily tightly, a wave of relief and exhaustion washed over her. She had spent years preparing for this moment, silently enduring Martin's absence, then his sudden reappearance, and finally his manipulative tactics. But she had underestimated the resilience of her daughter and the truth she held within her tiny heart. Outside the courthouse, the sun was shining, as if celebrating their victory. Rachel bent down to look Lily in the eyes. "You were so brave today," she said, stroking her daughter's soft blonde curls. Lily smiled shyly. "I just told the truth, Mommy. Daddy was mean." Rachel hugged her tightly, fighting back tears. "You did the right thing, sweetheart, and I promise no one will ever take you away from me again." As they walked toward the car, Rachel's lawyer, Miss Daniels, caught up with them. "Rachel," she said, her tone cautious yet firm, "Martin may try to appeal. Men like him don't give up easily, especially when their pride is hurt." Rachel nodded. "I expected as much. But this time, I'm ready. I'll do whatever it takes to protect Lily." Miss Daniels placed a reassuring hand on Rachel's shoulder. "You're stronger than you realize, and with Lily on your side, there's no way he can win." Days turned into weeks, and Rachel worked tirelessly to create a stable, loving home for Lily. They returned to their modest suburban house, where the walls were covered with family photos, and the air smelled of fresh-baked cookies. Rachel, a graphic designer by trade, balanced her work-from-home job with being the best mom she could be. But the shadow of Martin's possible retaliation loomed over her. She hired a private investigator to dig into his background, ensuring she had every legal safeguard in place. What she uncovered surprised her. Martin wasn't just a neglectful father. He was drowning in debt, his business ventures failing one by one. His return to Lily's life wasn't about love. It was about money. He had hoped to manipulate the custody arrangement to secure child support payments and perhaps use Lily as leverage to rebuild his image. Rachel shared the findings with Miss Daniels, who smirked knowingly. "This is exactly the kind of ammunition we need if he tries anything. He's more interested in saving face than being a father." Meanwhile, Lily blossomed. Freed from her father's influence, she began to express herself in ways Rachel had never seen before. She excelled in school, made new friends, and even joined a local art class, where her imagination ran wild with colorful drawings. One day, as they sat together in the living room, Lily handed Rachel a drawing. It was a picture of the two of them holding hands, with a giant sun shining above them. "This is our happy family," Lily said proudly. Rachel hugged her tightly, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. "Yes, baby, that's exactly what we are." Months later, Rachel received a call from her lawyer. "Martin's petition to appeal has been denied," Miss Daniels said. "The judge didn't even entertain it after reviewing his financials and past behavior. He's out of options." Relief flooded Rachel. For the first time in years, she felt free. That evening, as she tucked Lily into bed, she whispered, "We're safe now. No one will ever come between us again." Lily looked up at her, her eyes filled with trust and love. "I know, Mommy, because you're my hero." Rachel kissed her forehead, holding back tears. "And you're mine." As Rachel turned off the lights and closed the door, she felt a peace she hadn't known in years. She had faced her greatest fear and come out stronger on the other side. Together, she and Lily would build a future full of love, honesty, and hope. A future where no one could ever tear them apart again.